So feel yourself in your body, feel your connection to the earth, and invite the active thinking part of you to be here. So that's the part of you that works, the one that does things. And also the part of you that feels and is intuitive. So have that part of you here. And the playful one, and the wise one, and any other parts of you, any and every part of you, so that you're all here now doing this. And hold out your hands, and in one hand imagine a ball that represents any part or parts of you that are to do with feeling. Whatever is contained in the first side of the polarity. So imagine the ball containing the parts of you that feel or believe like that. Pause the video if you need a moment to get the ball set up. That have judged feeling or being like that as being bad or wrong, or are afraid of it or concerned about it. So just connect with the ball in your own way. And in the other hand, imagine a ball that represents any part or parts of you that are to do with feeling or being. Whatever is contained in the second side of the polarity. So imagine a ball containing parts of you that feel or believe like that. If you need a moment, pause the video to get the ball set up. That have judged that as being bad or wrong, or are afraid of it or concerned about it. And when you're ready, and in your own time, gently begin to bring the balls together. Don't think about it too much, just think about it as two blobs of energy. You just need to bring it together. Let it come together in its own way. And you might feel a reaction, you might feel energy moving in your body as your body, mind, knowledge system processes this. You can also have emotional reactions, so just allow whatever happens. And take your time. It can take some minutes to do this process, often with a more significant kind of a feeling. And once you get your hands together, make sure they're really together. Bring your palms all the way together so that they touch. If you feel a lot of energy in your body moving, then you can use this breath like and just imagine you're breathing out through your heart to release the tension until it settles. So allow it to settle, and then notice the feeling in your hands. If it hasn't finished, if it hasn't settled, then you won't be able to notice the feeling in your hands. And I'm asking about the feeling in your hands, not the feeling anywhere else, not in your body, not anywhere else. It's in between your hands that we need to know. So this one actually hasn't settled yet in me, so I can't do it. So it can take up to half an hour. So notice the feeling in your hands, and if it feels okay or neutral, then it means that you've fully completed this process. And then you can put your hands in your heart. So put your hands in your heart, and then you've fully integrated and released the judgment on the polarity in this case. So now, in any given situation, you will actually react differently. You'll have the choice. You can mix a little bit of both, like salt and pepper. So then it's your choice now to respond in the way you want to in a situation, rather than you being driven to only ever respond in one way, like you might have been before. So there's a limitless number of polarities in this dimension, in the physical world, and really we've come here to experience polarity. So there are all the feelings that you can imagine, then after all those there are polarities that are involved more than one word, and then there are other things too that connect. It's infinite, very complicated. The important thing to know about polarities is that every feeling and expression has its gift. So, for example, with the polarity of aggression and passivity, you might have had an experience where somebody is very aggressive to you and you've decided that aggression is wrong. But there are very important gifts of aggression. It's that spark that makes you get up in the morning. It's the thing that gives you drive. You know, you need a little bit of it. If you've judged all of it, then it leaves you at the other end of the polarity, which is passive, which which means that you can't do anything. Now what tends to happen and can happen inside of you is you can have two parts of you that have each got the opposite polarity, judgment. So one part of you is always passive and another part of you is always active. This is implicated in manic depression. So when you go into one part of you, maybe it's the masculine part, which can be aggressive, it's always doing things, it's always got to be doing something, it can never stop, and it can even be physically aggressive if it's way off the scale, beating up other parts of you. Then another part of you, which is often the inner feminine, is completely passive. It's decided aggression's wrong, and so it can't do anything. So you get this horrible combination that I call hurt girl and domineering father, where the masculine is beating up the feminine, and all the feminine can do is just kind of crumble, you know. And it's very, very uncomfortable inside of you, and it's very unpleasant if you then manifest that outside of you and witness that kind of thing going on in your life, which is what tends to happen, because we reflect outside of us all the relationships that we've got going on inside among these four characters.